What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, co-host Justin Vaseur, and special guest, Mr. William Wynn, the lender, who is going to give us all his expertise today because what I've been noticing with a lot of the offers I'm putting out for my buyers, rates have jumped up like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like the highest it's ever been in maybe more than 10 years.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Just the other week, my clients were, trying to get a home, and they were locked in at 7.5%.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think it did a little dip since then.
Yeah, it has come back down a little bit.
What is it at today?
I think still like about 7.
7%.
Mhm.
So just last week, 7.5. Are we ever going to reach 8%?
I wish I had a crystal ball, but
You think you'll get to 8%?
I don't think. I mean, that's what I said about 7%.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to get to 7%, really. And now we're just like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Now people are like, is it going to get to 10%?
I don't think 10%. Maybe 8, but there's still a lot of things that can happen. So
Out of 100%, what's the chances it can reach 8?
I would say 50.
50% chance?
No, I would say 77%.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
70%?
probability.
Yeah, 70.
I'm thinking around the same too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a high probability that it's going to get to 8% soon.
So what do you do at that point? Do you still tell people to buy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really depends on everyone's financial situations.
Of course. And then
So we just plug in a new interest rate, and then we'll give them the numbers and this is what it is now. If you bought today, how do you feel about it? And
Well, here's a good thing.
you're like, sorry, you can only afford a
it goes down. It does go for some people. It does go down, but some people we leave enough space that doesn't do too much.
When it becomes not affordable like this is when the government comes out with new programs to help people.
Yeah,
There's always new programs popping out of nowhere. So I think if it does reach 8%, something will happen to assist everybody, But they are talking about right now that inflation really hasn't stopped. And so what we're supposed to see, what we thought was going to be a very hot summer, is going to be called a cool down summer, to where we don't think it's going to be hot. But I think it's to specific areas. Places in Los Angeles right now is still very, very hot.
it's very hot.
Right. So right now the rates are 7.5% or 7%, and people are buying like hotcakes.
Mhm.
Like, why are they even doing that?
Well, I think we talked about it in the last episode. People that were waiting before when it was 6%,
Right.
they're like, and now they see there's a whole bunch of other people waiting. They're like, okay, I might as well just get in the house now before I get priced out, right? And then that causes that person sees his friend or her friend do it, so I don't want to miss out. So it just causes a snowball effect.
But you know
So
what I'm
just-
seeing right now is that when we're putting these offers in, yesterday we just lost an offer because someone put 100K over
Oop.
asking
We're back to that.
at a 7% rate. Like, come on, dude. Like, it doesn't make sense right now. People are buying homes because they had assistance programs, right? Free money. We had 2-1 buy downs. There are price drops. But now prices have increased because everyone's overbidding.
Yeah.
And now you have high rates. And I'm just saying, like, in the last 2 weeks, this is kind of where everything's changed.
From my perspective, it just seems like a lot of FOMO.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That is what I meant.
So
It's
isn't
FOMO,
that
basically.
a bad thing?
It is a bad thing.
A bad
Um,
thing, as in for house prices and stuff.
I think it's a bad thing from what we know, but you don't know if it is going to reach 8%, 9% in the next few months. If it does, then you're not in a bad situation. You actually made the right decision
Yeah,
to buy
that's
now.
why people are afraid. They're finally listening now. Like, oh, they're right. Like they were hoping the rates drop back down to 4%. They're like, it's going to drop down. It's not going to drop down. I'm sorry. The housing market is not going to crash. It isn't. You see that now. Like just people being overbid, 100,000 over. Like it was almost. It's back to
But that doesn't mean it's not going to crash.
That's not going to crash
Like,
because.
people make dumb purchases too. You know what I mean?
But these are people that are doing it. They have cash sitting there to overbid.
Yeah,
Right,
but it's
yeah.
me. I have cash. I put 100 grand into Bitcoin, and then tomorrow it goes down. That's not a good purchase.
Right.
True.
So here we're in a very special situation right now. Right now, it's like we were in the last few months at the tail end of negotiations
Yep.
because, you know, uh, because it became really hot, right? And so, the special situation that I'm talking about is yesterday here in Vegas. Um, I went with my clients to go look at new builds, and new builds is very special right now. You're kind of in the middle of they had the worst Q1 and Q2 I think of all time because everyone slowed down in buying, right? Especially in Q1. So they weren't selling many homes, but they're still building. And so because of that, they have numbers that they have to meet, right? So they don't care how much they sell the homes for right now. They're still selling 3 to 6 homes a week, but if it was hot, they'd be selling way more, right? And so um, now these new builds, from what I see, is like they're thinking, okay, uh, are we going to continue our slow selling for the year, or are we going to compete with all the national builders and try to be the best? And meaning that it's a numbers game, right? We need to sell 50 more homes by by the time the quarter ends. So the reason why I'm thinking that is because yesterday with my clients, we went to go look at a new build. It was $840,000. Okay, and for the first time, I was able to negotiate the price down to 750,000 and still get 20K in incentives for closing costs or a buy down. Now they're still selling homes at over 800,000 just within the week. But because me being the agent that I am, I'm really trying to get the best price for my clients. So when I speak to the salesperson at the new build, they're like, "Yeah, I mean it can happen. Shoot your shot, and I think we can get you under 800K, even though we're selling over 800." She's like, "All we want are the numbers before the year ends. We just want to sell more homes." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy." So my clients are getting 100K back on a new build.
That
You
kind of
know?
reminds me of my car. So like my car, I went there literally December 31st.
Yeah.
And then prior to this, we were talking for like a week. I was like, I want this car at this price. And it was selling for, it was technically used, but it only had 800 miles on it. And I was like, I want it at 26.8. And it was selling for, I think, like 31, almost 32,000.
Yeah.
And then December 31st, he hit me up. He was like, all right, we'll give it to you at that price.
Yeah. They just got to hit their quota.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty interesting.
What
Yeah.
if they raise
So
it?
they're doing that with the
Yeah,
house.
because I mean, everyone's trying to sell homes, right? You don't want to be the builder that's like, we only sold 10 homes this year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they'll take a loss.
They will take a loss,
Well-
but it's a national thing. You know what I mean? There's still hot areas like Vegas. Maybe they'll lose some money, but then in LA
They'll make
they're
it up.
making money, or Miami or New York they're making money.
I've also been seeing like KB homes,
Yeah,
like a high cancellation rate.
yeah. Okay, so KB has very specific buyers.
Okay.
KB is known. So if you guys don't know who KB is, or KB Homes, they are a national builder all across the U.S. and they have the best prices on new homes. They look beautiful. They're a little bit smaller, but the prices are affordable. Other new builds that sell for like 600, they sell for like 450. And the reason is because, for example, let's say this kitchen island right here, for a new build, they're right now they're going really nice on their materials, where it could be like 3 inches thick, but then a KB home will be like 1.5 inches thick. It's more so you can afford the home.
I see.
So the materials are like that, right? Quality is still good. So when you have clients who are in that affordability range, they're already like
Iffy.
Yeah, so when you have these clients who looking for more affordable new builds, they're already kind of like at the top of their budget. You know what I mean? So when these rates jump up, they can no longer afford it, and that's why there's cancellations.
I see.
And then the other thing is
Yeah.
KB, because they're affordable, they can't help you by lowering the price. Maybe they'll help you with like some loan programs and get you a lower rate, but they can't help you with negotiating a price off. So it's almost like when you go to Toyota and buy a car, it's so hard. You'll spend 8 hours there to negotiate like $1,000 off. But if you go to Mercedes, oh, and within like an hour you can negotiate like 6 to 8 thousand off because they just have more space. So affordable places like KB is just way more difficult.
I see.
Yeah, but they might be the ones that are hurting at the end of the year and not being the nation's best builder if you're not negotiating with clients.
Yeah, I've always wondered when people talk about like there's low inventory.
Yeah.
Does it include new homes and new builds too, or because it seems like there's low inventory, but there's hella new builds that they're trying to get rid of.
When they talk about low inventory, they talk about resale homes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're just like, because they look at the MLS and they see, oh, we only have like 1,500 homes in the market or like a 2 month supply. They don't have the new builds on there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How long do you think we're going to be hovering in this 7% range, or what do you think it's going to look like in the summer? We are in the summer.
Yeah, we are in the summer, but we're hoping for it to drop. We're supposed to drop a little bit. May? That was the prediction.
Right.
So it did drop a little bit during May, but we didn't expect it to go back up. But I think because all people, all the reports, the inflation did go down a little bit.
Why do you think it shot up?
Just a whole bunch of reasons that we couldn't predict, basically.
Wait, so you're saying inflation went down? I was reading that inflation is still high. So yeah, we're probably both correct. But people haven't stopped buying. Is that why they're making the rates high? I do see that my credit card monthly payments are a lot higher than before now. My interest.
Yeah, because the interest.
It's crazy.
Because when interest rates go up, basically, it's when the market does well, like the stock market. So I think
it is.
Yeah. So when the stock market does well, less people buy bonds because mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year Treasury, right? So when the stock market is doing well, everyone's investing in the stock market, not in the Treasury. So basically, that's why the rates go up.
That makes sense because Tesla did go up. I sold a bunch of shares.
The market's coming back, so
and
it's looking more normal now. Because before, like during COVID, like during the past couple of years, even when the market's down, rates are still going up. Right? It's usually the opposite. Usually, the stock market is doing well, then the rates are going up. If the stock market's goes down, then the rates go down. Basically.
So we want the stock market to crash a little bit more for people to afford homes.
Yeah, basically.
Is that what we want? So we need Elon Musk to tweet about stocks. Remember when he was tweeting about Dogecoin on Twitter, and then it would start like to the moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. GameStop.
So what does that mean for the future? Like, how do I want to word it? Are prices of a normal home just going to continue to go up?
Yeah, historically, home prices always going to continue to go up, right? Like houses when our parents bought them, like 100,000 or even like less than that, or 200,000. Like Irvine, I think Irvine was like 200,000. Now it's like 1 million something.
But from like 2019 till now, houses have doubled in most cases. That's not normal.
That's not normal. I wouldn't say doubled.
Yeah, not double, but
really,
but pretty high.
Pretty high. Yeah, it's pretty high. Some of them corrected already. Has been corrected past.
Everything that I see has been double. Like a $300,000 home is now a $600,000.
Yeah,
home.
in Vegas he's correct.
Okay,
but in LA,
no, they went up by maybe
like 25%, something like that.
Yeah, so it's come back down, but now it looks like it's going to head back up again because all these people are trying to buy and there's no inventory. So,
what I don't understand is how are they going to stop this from people buying, from prices going up, from rates going up?
Recession.
Okay, I think there's something else that we can do here. So I think the appraisers, right? When people put an offer on a home, the appraiser has to come out, and then most of the time it appraises for the value that people offer at, right? And so that's why values keep going up as well. Yeah. But what I think is if appraisers stop doing that, it will bring the prices back down. You know what I mean? It will control it, but they're not controlling it. They're just like, yeah, okay, it's worth 800,000. It's like, dude, but like a year ago, it's worth 700, even in a bad market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was asking. Like, what does the future look like then? Like, if you guys are saying there's not going to be a crash, whatever, what does that even look like 5 years from now? Like, is a KB home going to be $800,000 now?
Depending on the area.
Yeah, it really depends on the area
Mhm.
and how many years. I would say in 10 years, yeah, it can be double in 10 years.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, this all depends on the area.
Yeah, I would say every 10 years it definitely doubles though.
I think Vegas is growing a lot. So
Because in SUV,
Yeah.
not every home was $1 million before.
Mhm.
They used to be like in a really expensive area, it was like 500K in like 2009.
Okay.
Now they're million.
So what's considered affordable housing out there?
What do you mean?
Like affordable in the sense of the average family. Is there anything like that, or
Like
is
in
everybody
terms of
getting
the
a condo?
home price? What's a good home price for a regular 3-bedroom home right now in SGV would be like 750 to 800K.
And that's affordable for most families out there.
It is not.
so think about it. The medium income in Orange County right now, medium, that's like the average, is 235,000 per household.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like median. So, and then LA I think is 180. LA is 180,000 as the medium income. That's what an average person should be making.
What does that mean though?
That means
That's the median
yeah.
income for a person.
That's the media. That's what they have.
180,000?
Mhm.
For some reason, that doesn't sound right.
That's
very high.
that's the maximum medium income. So that's like about 80%.
80% of people?
Let me double check in 1 second.
That sounds really high.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what it is out here, because I think it's like 30 to 50 out here.
Well,
per
that's
person.
that's the maximum income. So let me go medium and see.
Because right in Vegas, minimum wage is still like $9 an hour.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that Vegas is like financially 10 years behind LA, but yet the home prices have almost caught up to LA.
Yeah, and that's what kind of hurts us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, even in 2019, bro, like you could have afforded a house back then.
Yeah.
Like a normal house is what I'm talking about. Like a
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the
3-bedroom.
homes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then now you really have to stretch yourself or just downgrade.
Right.
Well, Vegas is growing too. So
And that's kind of like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
yeah, I'm just double check. Sorry, that was the maximum for income limits.
Yeah.
But medium right about 100,000 or less. So depending on the area, I think LA County is less than that.
Yeah. I think I was reading between like 70 to 100.
Yeah, but still, that's medium income with 70. If you made $70,000 a house, you could probably with no debt, like you have no debt, like no credit card, no car payments, maybe like 500,000. I would say less than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you made how much?
70,000, less than that. I think
All
way
right,
less
if you
than
make
that.
$70,000 a year, you can afford a 500K home. I think that's still pretty high.
That's pretty high. I think like 400.
Because when I was making like
Which you won't find in LA.
No,
no,
not anymore. Like, maybe a condo.
I'm
One
more
bed.
comfortable with like if I make 100K a month. I mean, I'm sorry. If I make 100K a year, I want a house for under 400K. Because with that and a 20% down, my monthly payments are less than like 1,500 a month. You know, not with today's rate, with
Not
the
with
normal
today's
rate.
rate.
I was
With the
like,
normal rate.
That's way
I'm talking
off,
about
yo.
like
That's
your
way
4 to
off.
5% rate. You know, then that's more affordable. So now when you're talking about making 100K with that same money
do
as
nothing.
before, right? And now the rates have doubled, and you get a under 400K home, you're still at like
Almost
now you're
high,
like
pretty high.
3,000 a month, 3,500 a month. No, like 3,000 a month.
About almost 4.
Yeah.
Well, almost 5. It's probably, yeah. It's
Well, 5 is
That's
more
crazy.
like 600K home.
yeah, about. I'm thinking.
So paint me a realistic picture of what you see happening in the next 5 years. Then, 'Cause
I think-
if that's the current situation,
I think a recession will happen, and people will lose jobs, and that will help, in my opinion, of course, and that will help interest rate fall and help with the market a little bit. But there's a lot of variables that I
Yeah.
cannot.
Yeah,
It's
I see.
crazy.
I see within 5 years, the home price is still climbing a little bit, but at some point, it's gonna flatten, and it'll flatten for like, I don't know, from year 4 to year 7. You have like a 3 to 4 year of just home prices being steady. And I think
But rates dropping.
with rates dropping, yeah, because of
That's
recession
when
or
to
things
buy.
happening around the world.
But we can't. Well, as I said, it's our
But-
opinion. It's not a crystal ball. We had a crystal ball, we'd be rich right now.
But what is that number is going to get to before it flattens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying decrease. I'm just saying flattens out and things stop going crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys let us know if you think rates will reach 8%, and if it's a good idea for you to buy a home, or if you want to wait, or what your thoughts are on the current market and what the summer is going to look like. So, guys, catch you next time on YouTube and all podcast platforms. We'll see you later.